Hello, and welcome to today's lesson on how to construct meaning from words that may be hard to recognize at times. I, Ms. Dickerson, will be both going over the various ways to have a better understanding of these difficult words, as well as giving you examples to further your understanding in the lesson. If you at any time have any questions, please feel free to write them down and bring them to class, as I will be happy to answer them. In order to make sure that you are fully understanding the words that you are reading and writing, you must first understand the concept of phonetics. To put it simply, phonetics is just a fancy word that stands for the speech sounds that we use in the English language. In fact, you use phonetics every day when you recognize the letters that sounds correspond to, when you sound out letters, and when you use letter sound recognition when reading out loud. For example, say you want to sound out the word apple. First, we must look at the letters used in the word apple, which is A, P, P, L, E. Next, we must sound out the letters individually. A, P, O. And now, we are able to say the word by putting all of those sounds together. Apple. Why do you need phonetics, you ask? Phonetics helps you 1. Make the connection that sounds and letters have relationships. 2. Understand the material that you are reading. And 3. Phonetics is necessary for any future job that you will have. We will now move on to understanding words and word meanings. There are 3 important forms: heterographs, heteronyms, and synonyms. The first term that we will learn about is homographs. Homographs are simply 2 words that have different meaning, the same spelling, and the same or different pronunciation. When trying to determine if 2 words are homographs, keep in mind that those 2 words can have any of the qualities listed, whether it's one or all of them. The word tie is an example of a homograph. The word can mean to tie your shoes, or it can also mean a necktie, as in something a businessman might wear. While homographs have different meaning, the same spelling, and the same or different pronunciation, heteronyms are 2 words that have different pronunciation, different meaning, and the same spelling. Like homographs, keep in mind that when looking at 2 words, they can have one or all of these qualities. An example of a heteronym is the word desert. Desert can mean to leave someone or abandon something, or it can also mean desert, as in where cacti grow. If you are having trouble determining which meaning a word might have, look at the words and sentences surrounding the heteronym and try to determine its meaning. If you are still unable to tell what the meaning of the heteronym is, then if possible, look for pictures or symbols on the page that might give you an idea what that heteronym means. So far, we have talked about both words that would be considered homographs and also words that would be considered heteronyms. And now, last but not least, we have synonyms. Synonyms are simply 2 words that have different spelling, similar meaning, or identical meaning. Out of all of the meanings, synonyms are usually fairly easy to identify. An example of 2 words that are synonyms are the words stinky and smelly. Both words can be used to describe something like a garbage can. Garbage can is both stinky and smelly at the same time. The words stinky and smelly are synonyms because of the fact that they have similar meaning but also different spelling at the same time. At this point, you may be thinking, how are these terms useful to you? The answer is that heterographs, heteronyms, and synonyms are all terms that can only benefit you by allowing you to recognize what certain words mean, allowing you to recognize the difference between words, and helping you to understand what you are reading. Now, moving on in our lesson to semantics. The concept of semantics can help you when you are unable to understand what a passage or text means. We use semantics in the classroom when we look at the pictures that are provided along with a story, or when we look for symbols being used. Using picture clues is a very easy and helpful tool. The following steps will aid you when looking at a picture clue. First, you must read the text carefully. Next, identify what is confusing to you. Now look over the picture that is provided along with the text. Relate the picture to the text. And finally conclude what the text is about. The previous steps can be applied to the sentence, "The boy is going to kick the ball." By looking at the picture that goes along with the sentence, you are able to understand what the sentence is describing. There may be times when picture clues or symbols are distorted or confusing. In this case, you should look at the sentences surrounding that particular sentence and try to determine its meaning that way. If you have any questions, please write them down and bring them to class. I will be happy to answer them for you. If you're a little confused about all of the terms that we have just went over, don't worry because I will be explaining them again several times throughout the year. If you have a general knowledge of the previous lesson, then you will have a better understanding of the English language.